as children, we all had big dreams. We all had those massive destinies we wanted to live up to. And we think that we can do anything. However, as we grow older, all these dreams seem to disappear. From an astronaut to customer service assistant, from entrepreneur to now junior doctor, working a 9 to 5, 6 days a week. And I find that oftentimes we talk to other people and we would say, oh, those good old days when I was so naive, when I was so childish. Those dreams were so hopeless. But I'm going to ask you a question right now. Were those dreams really that naive? Were they really so hopeless? I think the question we really should be asking ourselves is, why did I not go out? Why did I not try to achieve those dreams? Why am I standing right here telling my younger self that I was naive to dream? Because it's one of the most beautiful things that could ever happen to you. And I hope that through this video, we could show that a dream could never die. That you should keep dreaming. That you should open your mind. So I first want to start off with a study that was done about a group of younger children and a group of older college students, right? So there was a teacher from a primary school classroom who asked the students in our classrooms, for 20, 30 people, 30 6 to 7 year olds. Please raise your hand if any of you knew how to sing or could sing well, something like that. And a similar question was posed by a different teacher in a college classroom, about 20, 30 students. Please raise your hand if you knew how to sing or can sing well. And the results were absolutely astounding. Out of the little people, 6 to 7 year olds, the majority, probably 80, 90% raised their hands. Hey miss, I know how to sing. And the college students were basically no one raised their hands because no one had the confidence, the courage to say, hey, I actually know how to sing. But if you think about it, the most interesting part for me is that it's more likely that college students know how to sing, right? You obviously don't want to listen to those childish nasally voices, squeaking high pitches that don't even match the actual music, College students probably have more developed voices. They probably have better vocal skills. But why do less of them say, hey, I can sing? I think it comes all down to belief. I think the thing that changed within these students is that they got put down too many times. When you're young, when you're 6 to 7, you could say you're naive, right? You're innocent to this world. Because everyone tells you, hey, you can do this. Teacher says, hey, you can do this. Your parent says, hey, you can do this. But as you get older, their voices really change, They tell you need to do this and do that, and you can't do this and you can't do that. Then you lose that sort of precious self-esteem that you built up over your entire childhood. Now can you sing? No, I can't. No, I can't, miss. I can't sing. Because I'm not good enough. Because I really don't have a vocal range. No, you do. No, you do. It's just because society has put you down way too many times. And you think this is reality. I'm going to tell you this is not reality. This is you being constrained by society. I want to talk a bit about my story. This is a very, very relatable story, I feel like, to everyone. Because I remember in my childhood, all my life, I've been told that I can do everything, right? My parents were pretty supportive over me doing everything. They really wanted me to go in co-curriculars. I was probably good at basically everything as well. I was a star of the football team. I was good at piano. I was just that kid. I was not bad at academics either. And I remember my mum used to always tell me, hey son, you know that you're the most beautiful boy in the whole world. And that manifestation when I was probably 6 or 7 years old, that stuck with me for my entire life. I'm gonna be honest. I never had the feeling that, oh, I need to look at myself in the mirror and I feel bad about myself. I've always felt that, I'm quite a handsome guy. Like, sure, I wouldn't go out saying narcissistic things such as, oh, I'm just the hottest guy in the room and I'll just take off my shirt and flex my abs. No, but I think that type of parental love I received when I was younger about my appearance really ingrained itself into my brain. And I think that type of manifestation is exactly what we need with dreams. However, I think the turning point in my life when everything completely changed, when I was 14. Right? I moved to the UK probably just a year prior. I moved to the UK when I was 13. And I had this guardian because I don't have my family over here. And I really trust her, right? She's one of these like amazing women who actually like both care about your food and drink, and also like they would like to give you some advice for you to follow later in life stuff. And I remember it was like a autumn day, autumn morning when I actually got COVID about 2 to 3 years back. She brought the breakfast up to my like room in isolation, right? Because I was on COVID. And we had this little chat. And it was just one of those little chats that the adults always have with children that I hate so much. Hey, Simba, what do you think you're going to do in the future? And they expect this kind of like disciplined answer. Oh, I expect to be a doctor. Oh, I want to be a banker when I grow up. She actually asked me what I want to do in uni. And I said English and history. Right? I was just this kid. I didn't know how to answer it correctly. I just said, hey, I want to do English and history. And I just remember her face. It was like a face that tormented me. It was this kind of bleak disappointment. It was the way her face fell when I said that. It was the way that I felt that a person I trusted, a person I would call her my second family, would look at me in that way. Would just look at me in a way that says basically something like, you're like an adopted kid. Imagine that. Imagine that face looking at you. And what she said next, like, chilled me. Like, if you hear that from an adult that you trust, you know that there's something wrong about society. You know that they have been tortured by society. Because what she said was, Chinese people can't major in English because they're Chinese. Imagine saying that to me, a Chinese kid coming to England, wanting to live out his full potential, and telling him, oh, because you're Chinese, because you're brown, you can't do shit. Imagine saying that. Then you expect me to like stand up to her, right? You expect me to like be respectful to myself, like what I would do right now. I did none of that. I was 14. I literally said the most embarrassing thing. I'd look back, I'll be disgusted at me saying that. But I said, oh, I mean, I might even take math or chemistry. Imagine me saying that. Imagine, oh, I might just take math and chemistry. That's disgusting. That's disgusting what I said. I was trying to please her. I wasn't being myself. I wasn't living my dream. I was being like every single other kid who gave up their dreams because, oh, I'm just gonna take math and chemistry. Cause I can't speak English, because I'm Chinese. Because I'm brown. Because I'm yellow. I can't speak English. And I just can't imagine a kid giving their dream away like that. It was such like a painful thing for me. And obviously I left the Guardian later and I just reflected. I wrote her a letter. I was like, some of the things that you told me I didn't accept such things. And I feel like they were detrimental for my growth and for my mental health back in the day. And honestly, it took me like a year or so to get over the fact that she said Chinese people can't speak English. Like, I can't lie, like, it doesn't matter how you determine English metrics here in the UK, but I was fluent in English. I was good, and I was getting top marks in my class. Like, amidst all the English people, I would be getting top marks. like I would write the best stories, then I would think, oh, but I'm not good at English because I'm Chinese. It was detrimental. It was so detrimental. And what I'm thinking right now is that if I would go back, I'm talking to you right now, I'm talking to my younger self, I'm talking to younger Simba. If I'm gonna go back in time, go back 2 years, what would I tell my younger self? I think the most cringe, the most generic thing I would tell myself is just genuinely believe in myself. Don't follow what everyone else says. Don't follow everyone else's footsteps, because you got to realize where it took them, right? You got to realize that if 80% of the people say, oh, I want to become a doctor, I want to become a lawyer, I want to become a banker, you look at them and you say, but hey, that's the majority. And in the normal person's mind, they would think, oh, the majority is good. We should follow the majority, you know, because if the majority does something, it means that they're right. It means that they're always right. But have you realized that maybe Elon Musk wasn't the majority? Maybe he wasn't a banker, maybe he wasn't a lawyer, maybe he wasn't a doctor. Maybe Bill Gates was none of these. Maybe the late, great Apple CEO Steve Jobs was none of these. Maybe they're just a little bit contrarian like that. And they're contrarian in their own way that made them so powerful. The reason, if you look at a graph, right, the majority is always in the middle. And where we want to be is probably not in the middle. We don't want to be mediocrity. Mediocrity means middle. That's the word, mediocre. We want to be at the top. Like, let's be honest, like we're all here because we want to live a life that genuinely benefits us. Imagine being on your deathbed right now. No one would say that, oh, well, I mean, some people might say, if you're like a person who really cares about saving lives, sure. Like, I completely respect that. Go on, be a doctor. I really want you to become a doctor, right? But no one would say, oh, I'm so happy that I became a doctor and I worked 9 to 5 for 50 years of my life until my retirement. I think the more likely thing that people would say is that, why did I become a doctor? What I really wanted to become was an astronaut. And I never got the chance to be an astronaut in my life because I got told that I need to work a 9 to 5, 7 days a week as a doctor that would earn me money. And you know what the most crazy thing that earning money tells you? If someone says, oh, you become these kind of 9 to 5 jobs that earn you money, the reality is that it doesn't earn you money. The reality is that they think earning you money means 3K, 4K, 5K per month. That's not earning you good money. 50K per year. Sure, that's crazy for some people. That's crazy for me. But I know that I'm going to rise above that. I know. Because if you think about it, you're trading your time for money. That's not wealth. That's not riches. You're putting in work to get out results linearly. What you should be thinking is, how do I non-linearly leverage my money? Like, I'm going to be honest. What I read from The Millionaire Fastlane completely changed my life. If you want to read the book, Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco, a very good book on finance, business building, wealth, a book about everything. I'm going to be honest, read it. If you think about it, you are not in control of your work. If you work a 9 to 5 for someone, you are not controlling your work. If your boss can say any day, all right, today, Simba, we're going to fire you because you're not doing this good enough, because you're not doing that good enough, we're going to fire you. Or maybe just for no apparent reason, my salary just got cut. I literally don't earn any money anymore. Think about the lack of control you have over your own life. If your boss can say one word, fire, and you're gone, how can you say that you're making generational wealth? How can you say that you're making secure wealth? You're dancing on a tightrope. And that tightrope's gonna break sometime, man. That's crazy. And I just imagine telling my younger self that. That would be so inspirational. And coming back to dreams, I think I have literally two suggestions, like more concrete ones that I would tell my younger self. The first one, suggestion one, is auto-suggestion. This is probably one of the most powerful tools I ever found from the book Think and Grow Rich. If you want to read this book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, a 1937 classic that sold over 70 million times, right? It's a beautiful book. You should really check it out. How to Grow Rich. It's the concept, right? It's the concept. Obviously, you need to implement everything in the book, and like you don't earn money from reading it, but you earn knowledge. You earn a bit of knowledge. And knowledge is potential power, so at least you got the potential. But I think the essence of autosuggestion is literally like believe in yourself, right? But in a sense where it's less spiritual and more concrete. I have like a really actionable, like practical step. If you're watching this far, I love you so much. But you could take out your pen right now. Imagine just take out your notebook, my journal, literally open it up to some page, start writing 3 goals that you have in the foreseeable future for yourself. I'm gonna give you like a second to jot down 3 goals. You can pause this video, whatever. And what I want you to do for these 3 goals is that whether it's a journal, rip the page out of the book, post it on your wall. Literally, like I literally have my daily routine over here, like posted on my wall, you know, just like every single day reminding myself. If it's on your screen digitally, post it on your like Microsoft Word document, whatever, on your phone lock screen. So you can remind yourself every single day, hey, that's the goal I want to achieve and I am going to achieve it. Auto-suggestion is literally a way to recurringly tell your mind that something is possible. Because of the biological idea, it's literally like science, right? Because your body is linked to the mind. What your mind tells your body and what your body tells your mind goes in between, right? If your mind tells your body that you can do something, you can do something. If your body tells your mind that you can do something, your mind would work harder to do that thing. And literally, every single night, I want you to look at whatever goals you've written down and say to yourself, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. Then literally every single night, I want you to go to bed dreaming about it. That's what I do. That's literally what I do. I go to bed every single night and I just dream about what I dream, you know? I just dream about my goals. I literally visualize me accomplishing these goals like every single night. Not actually dream, I'm in this like zoned out state where I just like think about it. By now, like my purpose, my dream is so ingrained into my mind that I know it's going to happen one day, Imagine how powerful that would be for you if you know that you're going to achieve your dream, that you know that you're going to do it, that you know that you're not going to slip into the mediocrity rat race that is so widespread. And it's going to come true. I'm being very honest. If you do auto-suggestion, it's going to come true. And I think this one is less spiritual. Suggestion number 2 I would have for my younger self. I would go back, I would sit him down and I say, boy, you need some genuine friends. Because the thing is, we might think, all right, I have a bunch of friends, you know, I have a bunch of people I play video games with. They drink with me and stuff. And we go to parties together and we just get girls together or something. And it's so beautiful, a relationship, right? You might think that. All right, let me ask you a question. If your friend passed this question test, yes, he is a genuine friend. She is a genuine friend. But if they don't pass this questionnaire, you may have to think about, you know, making some new friends. Because if your friend, imagine if you like become successful. Imagine if you become a millionaire literally tomorrow. Would your friend be jealous of you? Would they sulk in the corner? Would they just like not look at you anymore? Or like, would they like be fake around you? Or would they genuinely feel happy for you? Would you like congratulate you? Would they celebrate with you? Would they, you know, just be there with you? To rise with you, to fall with you? Would they still be there if you're completely broke? Or would they be happy that you fell down. Imagine that. Imagine that. Would they feel pain that you feel? Would they feel the joy that you feel? Would they emulate that? The key thing, I think, to making genuine friends that I would tell my younger self is that right now, you need to think, right? Because we're doing self-improvement, right? If you're doing this video, you're not on self-improvement, get on self-improvement, bro. Do some meditation, do some sports, whatever. But since we are on self-improvement, we set ourselves high standards. And I hope that we can use these standards to measure our friends as well, right? The next time we talk to a person, if they drink and I don't, and I despise alcohol abuse, they're not my friend. I refuse to take them as my friend. If they do drugs, I refuse to take them as my friend. If they don't exercise and they don't work out, and they don't do any sports, why should they be my friend? Because we need to distinguish between acquaintances and friends. If they are not the high standard you set for yourself, surely they're not good enough for you. In the most plain sense, maybe they're just not like you. And maybe you wouldn't get much from being friends with them. And I don't know. What we want with a friend is that we want them to be the booster to our rocket. We are a rocket ship destined for space. We are that astronaut. We are not that customer service assistant. We want to rise high. And if they can be the fuel to your rocket, they are a genuine friend. You would benefit off of that. You would win together. You would lose together. You would win again together. If your friend is that air resistant to your vehicle, imagine like the downwards velocity and the upwards resistance. If they're the air resistance to your fall, to your rise, they're not real friends, bro. It's so detrimental if you don't have real friends. Anyways, that should be it. It's quite a deep video, quite a deep story that I told. Everything's fine with me now. I feel like I genuinely have like good friends around me. I have good people just standing by me, and I'm so happy about that. Thank you so much for watching. I love you so much. Bye bye.